I've made a mistake, and quite possibly an expensive one. So, if you don't already know this, some airports have changed their scanning machines, their X-ray machines, from typical X-rays to a CAT scan technology. I understand. I'm not up on exactly what the deal is, but the net effect is that photographic film is no longer permitted to go through CAT scans because it will fog them. And I have in front of me 18 rolls of Tri-X 120 that I bought a couple of years ago, which is still all, I think the oldest, best before 10/20/23 is the oldest film I have here. I'm not quite sure why. And what I'm running into is I'm running into banding on random rolls of Tri-X. So I bought this in New York City, and I flew home with it, and so it went through the X-ray once. And then in the ensuing 2 years, I've gone to Portugal, I've gone to Paris, I've actually done a lot of traveling for me. Anyway, and I unfortunately was not paying attention until I started getting all that banding in some of my shots. And I honestly have no idea whether or not any of this film is any good, and if it is good or it is bad, which is good and which is bad. So I have 4 Pro Packs of Tri-X. 2 have 4 rolls, 2 have 5 rolls, and the only way I can think to figure this out is to shoot a single frame from each Pro Pack, and then process the balance of the sheet, of the roll of film, and just see what's on it. And it's painful and expensive, but I'm really running into a lot of issues with banding in my film, and I can't trust my Tri-X, and I love Tri-X. And as much as I would really, really not love to give this up, I need to know whether or not it's actually working properly. So here's my plan. My plan is I take a roll, I mark all 4 boxes, I have 4 pieces of paper here, I got a little bit of tape around somewhere, I have my Hasselblad with a 150 on it. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up a piece of paper with the number on it from the corresponding box, shoot a single frame so I know which roll is which, and then wind the film through the back, and then process it. So, here goes. So this will be roll or box number 1, and all the way through the other 3 or 4 boxes. And I will have a piece of paper here, number 1, and then I've got my roll of film, randomly pulling it out. And I should do this one at a time, because if I don't do it one at a time, I'll get even more confused, which is never any fun. And loading, yes, it's empty. Loading a roll of film into a Hasselblad back is something that I've only done about 1 million times. And it's like riding a bicycle. You know, you never really forget how to do it. And all I can think of is the panic that some wedding photographer would have trying to reload their film backs quickly because they took the last frame at a really important moment. Ready to go? All right. Okay, ISO 400. 60th at f4.5. Fine art. That's it. That's the whole sum total of that roll of film. And now I get to do this 3 more times. And now we process. The processing tank that I have really only takes 3 rolls of 120, but there is a trick that some people who were really cheap back in my university days would do at the darkroom, which is they'd load 2 rolls of 120 film onto a single spool in the Patterson tank, because then they could process it with half as much chemistry, which really is not I think is not a particularly good way to do things, given that you really don't want to. I mean, it's not that much money for an extra 500 mils of chemistry. But in this case, I need to process 4 rolls of film. My largest tank only takes 3 rolls, so I double spooled onto the bottom roll. And worst case scenario, you know, really all I need to see is whether or not that film base is nice and clear when it comes out, and the fixer will happily take care of all of that for me. So here somewhere, DDX, HC 1 to 31, ISO 400, 6.5 minutes at 20 Celsius. Yeah. just like that. And in it goes. Okay, the moment of truth. So I haven't photo flowed these. Hey, that looks pretty clear. Woo. Oh, that's a good sign. Box number 1, I'd say, is totally usable. Score. Okay. Box number, well, I'm not sure. Whoa, man, that is fogged. Holy moly. And my spacing is off. That's box number 2. Okay, so that's totally useless. And numbers 3 and 4, as I mentioned before, are on the same rule, or on the same spool, I think. Let's see what we got here. Box number 3, totally fogged. Oh, is that 3? That's number 4, totally fogged, totally useless. It's a couple of frames of my erstwhile video companion, so I will actually save those. And last but not least, oh yeah, same thing. Yeah, and that's number 3. So, I mean, I guess it was a good exercise. I mean, I had to do it, and I had to waste 4 rolls of film, so I wouldn't waste another 20 rolls of film. So I'm just going to post those on Craigslist or Facebook or something, Marketplace, and just say, hey, if you want some tracks, come and get it. One small caveat is that it is totally fogged and really messy, but if you want it, it's here, here for the taking. So the takeaway is only, for the love of God, please be careful with your film when you're going through an airport. Thanks for watching.